very important. It should be required viewing.
It's a work of art.
A beautiful, beautiful piece of work. It's nice to hear the truth being told for once in America.
Very moving and very scary, beautiful film. Everybody should see it.
I think this film was very eye-opening.
I thought it was thought-provoking and inspirational.
I feel really bad for the veterans.
I'm shocked and saddened that with the treatment of our veterans.
Totally disheartened.
Was very disturbing.
Totally devastated by this.
Very proactive and provocative movie.
I'm really disturbed by it.
Absolutely shocking information.
It's a visual alarm clock.
It was a very powerful, informative film, and it is a travesty.
After the first Gulf War, thousands of American soldiers returned from Iraq complaining of a variety of troubling symptoms.
Within a couple of days of getting there, everybody was sick.
The skin on my feet and in my toes, they were cracking and bleeding.
Severe body pains all throughout my body.
They can't seem to give me a direct answer on what my problem is.
We have reason to believe that some of these illnesses may be the result of exposure to chemical and biological agents in that region.
The Pentagon refused our interview requests and also refused to answer our written questions.
The department embarked on a public relations campaign to confound and confuse scientists, veterans, Congress, and the public at large.
DoD knew dusty agents would make our chemical suits totally and utterly useless.
They weren't told that they were chemical weapons storage sites. They were just told they were ammunition depots, and they blew up those depots.
The Department of Defense, the CIA, the Veterans Administration, and the White House all had to conspire together to withhold this information.
It's almost criminal, the lack of cooperation we've received from various government agencies.
They pushed the Gulf War vets into PTSD.
We knew that this couldn't be the reason because of the multiple signs and symptoms that are totally unrelated to post-traumatic stress disorder.
They don't want the American public to know what's happening. There's no question about depleted uranium. The amount, I don't think we will ever know. However, those troops are now exposed and have become ill as a result of it.
The people of Iraq have the same illnesses and sicknesses and conditions that our own soldiers have.
We've never seen this in medicine before. And the incidence of severe congenital anomalies, babies being born with no brains or single eyes or no arms, has also gone up 700%.
And the Department of Defense leaders have done everything they can to prevent that information from getting out.
Really points to nothing else than conspiracy against the veterans of the United States.
We received inoculations. We weren't able to know what they were.
Many times the bottles were not labeled, or you weren't told, or it was none of your business.
4 different approaches to the Pentagon, including Colin Powell, failed. All interviews were ultimately denied. Why the reluctance to talk about this?
We know that the military has been involved in testing of biologic agents, and one of the things that we've felt all along is that this is one big test.
During the past 50 years, hundreds of thousands of our military have been experimented upon without their knowledge or consent.
My accumulated evidence as a researcher is now indicating that this may in fact have been an experiment wherein many troops were vaccinated with an experimental vaccine.
Based on any number of studies, we're very confident that these patients are infected with a stealth-adapted virus.
Pathologists that work for the government, that work for the U.S. Army, actually hold the patents on the type of particular microbe that we found, and we found that it's slowly spread to immediate family members. And so wherever we see family members getting sick, we know that can't be post-traumatic stress disorder.
Something needs to be done before my wife dies, before I die, or any other Gulf War vets die.
They've let us medically deteriorate in front of them.
The soldiers I sent were clearly not treated properly once they came home. And I have a hard time living with that.
If the people in this country knew the truth behind this, it could bring down the government as we know it.
They're aware of the casualties, and they abandon the American warrior in a time of need.
We have right now On the doorsteps of the VA, people begging to get in, begging for help, being turned away, suffering, and then committing suicide. They have no fight left in them.
They end up getting sicker. They can't work. Their marriages take a hit. And they end up divorced. They end up homeless.
This is where I live here. This is your house, your home, and this is my home.
We have 1,200 homeless veterans in Brevard County, estimated 4,200 in Central Florida and 17,000 in the state of Florida.
How's our government assisted you?
Well, you see it. There's so many people that look down their nose at us. Don't look down your nose, because you're only one paycheck away from being where we're at.
The whole philosophy of the country needs to change. They gave a $100 ticket to a person who's homeless. Jesus.
We live in a society that disposes of our nuisances.
Last year, I think I had approximately 10 out of about 70 I treated that had been recently beaten.
Police department went in and trashed 11 of our camps.
They destroyed everything the community had been given them.
They hadn't eaten in 3 days.
And we're finding homeless camps all the time. It's not really living per se, it's just existing day to day.
As soon as I get some work, I'm out of here.
It's a disgrace for the men and women who've done this for the country.
He a veteran. Hey, a veteran living out here in the woods.
They have excellent survival skills. They shouldn't have to use them once they're back on American soil, but they do.
We just seem to stick together and take care of ourselves because that's the way we were trained.
Because I didn't have an address, I couldn't even get food stamps. So I was like stealing fruit from people's gardens and stuff to survive.
Not everybody that's homeless is there by any sort of choice. There are a lot of people that, like in my case, were just one paycheck away from losing their place, and when they lost their job, they lost their place, and it's hard to get back up there.
Lose your house, lose your car, lose your job, then what you gonna do?
I've literally pulled rocket scientists out of the woods.
We have 1 million veterans out of work in the United States.
And we're not all alcoholics and we're not all drug addicts and we all bust our ass still to get by.
It's the same as a homeless dog or a stray dog, as you would say. You know, I saw one the other day and I realized it had a lot in common with me.
These are young veterans coming home who signed that dotted line when they come back from Iraq and Afghanistan. They lose their income. Their spouse and children have no income after that. And they're 22, 23 years old. They just want a job.
And they come back here and they got problems. And for years, our government never really recognized these problems. The nation needs to know this.
They've given up family, friends, education, and we turn our back on them. There should be no such thing as a homeless veteran.
We got 550 people in Congress. Get them out of office.
Shocking, eye-opening, disturbing, and it's about time.
And it's a shame that we're being shamed for this.
It's incredibly sad that we have gone this far down.
I thought the film was superb.
Most revealing. This was such an important issue.
Conscientious.
Revealing and inspiring.
A compassionate film that exposes systemic fraud and neglect.
It was very informative.
It was an extremely well done travesty is what I saw in there.
Excellent film.
Eye-opening and mind-opening.
It was very, very, very good.
I enjoyed the film.
It was an incredible, incredible movie, and it touched me so much.
It's very shameful that this is going on.
An absolute requirement for anybody considering a military employment.
I thought this was an amazingly powerful film. Been expecting it for a long time, and I hope that this can begin to show people what's really going on in this country.
I hope it'll be shown all across the country. It's really important.
Truth can be a powerful thing. Sometimes people don't want to hear it, but it does need to be told. Thank you for an amazing film.
This movie demonstrates that there's collateral damage from any war.
Outstanding. It's not like any film that you've seen.
It was shocking.
It was eye-opening.
2 words, dead on.
Inspirational.
Revelatory and totally truth. Excellent, Gary. Should have won the Oscar for Best Documentary.
Powerful, and everyone should see it. Truth enlightens.
Explosive and enlightenment.
The truth.
Lots of food for thought.
Educational, enlightening, and excellent presentation.
I wish that all over the world, good people
listen to programs as such as one we saw tonight.
Wake Up America. Empowering.
It was great. Really just covered everything.
The veil has been lifted.
Profound.
This is an indictment of the orthodoxy.
It was great. It was great.
A revelation. It's eye-opening. It's truthful. It's very needed.
We're going to show these videos to as many people as we can.
To all the homeless veterans, I will spread the word.
I will spread this word to others.
This film should be required viewing for every university and school in America.